called into the right front fender. Your call? Of course not. Men drivers.
Well, did you call cops?
Oh, I didn't have to. It was a police car.
Oh, well, who was it?
It was Murray back in El Rocco. And I told him, Lizzie, I said, if you'd have been cruising around like you were supposed to instead of parking, I wouldn't have hit you.
That's right. Don't tell me what they say.
I just hate men who laugh at logic. I think it's so anti-feminist. Did Howard take the chair that goes here and fix it?
Oh, we must have. Want me to get you one?
No, it's all right. I'll get one later.
Okay. Did you get all your shopping done, huh?
Well, I got some new paints for my ceramics, but then I lost the list, so I just took potluck. Did you see this article that Barney White had in the paper today, Lizzie?
Oh, she takes a nice picture. What does it say?
It says Joan Carroll, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Howard G. Carroll, has been chosen to play the title role in this year's high school production, Victoria Regina. The cast will meet and read through the play for the first time today under the direction of the watchful eye of Mr. Guy Thompson, well-known New York actor.
You mean the school got a New York actor to come out here to put on the play?
Well, yes, the English teacher coaches the football team, and I guess the practices fell at the same time.
Oh, by the way, did Mr. Carroll make another one of his speeches today?
Yes, at the high school for the children. Why?
Well, Barney White called and said, ask Mr. Carroll if I can quote him on his speech.
Oh, no.
Well, don't worry yet. It may not be one of his major speeches.
Oh, Lizzie, let's hope not.
I don't understand why people keep asking him to speak anyhow.
Well, Howard looks perfectly rational.
And he is.
Normally. Put him on that platform in front of that vast sea of faces and something happens to him.
Have you ever been able to figure out what?
Well, it's mixed up with a lot of things. Howard's worked very happily at the bank for a number of years. He leaves every morning with his briefcase. Comes home every afternoon with his briefcase and a bag of jelly beans for me. But you know, Lizzie, I don't really think Howard's ever really had a creative outlet.
Well, having 3 daughters is pretty creative.
Well, yes, but he's a man, and I guess every man wants a son.
Hey, would you like something cold to drink?
Oh, I'd love something. Thanks, Liz.
Hey.
Hello, everybody.
Hello,
Oh, hi,
dear.
Mr. Carroll.
Howard, have you seen this?
Oh, yeah, cute. I saw it at the office. Yes. Hi.
Hi.
I was just going to hang it up, Liz.
You'd better if you want something cold to drink.
That is a good basis for a mutual relationship.
He seems happy.
Yeah, sometimes that's a bad sign. Howard, how did your speech go today, dear?
The kids seem to love it.
And what was your speech about, Mr. Carroll?
Manners, Liz. Manners.
I'll get your drink.
For you, milady.
Thank you, dear.
You know, I had to go to 4 different places to find those today.
Why do you suppose that is?
I don't know. I guess it's just a lost art. They don't have the craftsmen to hand roll them like they used to. And have you noticed that the black ones are disappearing like buffalo?
It's kind of sad that the world's changing like this, isn't it,
Oh,
Howard?
it certainly is.
Thank you, dear.
Sure got this chair fixed.
Oh, thank you.
Here,
Oh, it's okay. I can do it.
Howard, are you sure you spoke on manners today?
Oh, hey, would you like to hear the whole speech?
No, I don't. Just a brief resume will be fine.
Okay. I said that boys are crude, unkempt, aggressive little monsters with absolutely no respect whatsoever for the opposite sex.
Howard,
Oh, hey, but I don't blame it on the boys.
you don't?
No, the girls are just as bad. Oh, they race around, slapping each other on the back, shouting at each other from across the street. It's no wonder that the boys have no respect for them.
Then the fault is with the girls?
No, the fault is with the parents. With this whole co-educational system that breeds this competition between the boys and the girls.
Okay, I see where this is leading. The girls are forced to take exercise and compete 45 minutes twice a week. And the boys come to regard them as physical equals.
Well, that's part of it, yes.
Then you mean you don't think the girls should be forced to take exercise?
I don't think that they should be forced to do anything that compromises their dignity as human beings. They should be allowed the freedom freedom of being themselves and making their own decisions.
Well, this just smacks of progressive parenthood, dear.
Well, I've always thought of myself as a free thinker when it comes to our children.
I know, dear. I have the scars to prove it. But Howard, don't you think there's a slight contradiction here somewhere?
What do you mean?
Well, on the one hand, you complain of the lack of manners in our young people. On the other, you say, they don't want to have manners, they shouldn't be forced to have them. Let them run wild.
No. If they weren't so beset by taboos and restrictions and traditions, then they wouldn't feel this need to break loose and run wild later on.
Oh, well, that's interesting. How do you account for your youngest child?
Virginia,
Mm-hmm.
there's no accounting for her. She's the exception that proves the rule.
Cliche, darling.
That may be, but it's true. I don't understand why she is such a roughneck.
Maybe if you would take as much time with Virginia as you do with Jonah and Jeannie, you'd find out why.
I spend as much time with her as I do with the other two girls.
But not with the same attitude, Howard. You never have treated Virginia the same as you did the other two kids.
Let's not get off on that again, okay, sweetheart?
Well, I just think it would be wise for you to practice what you preach if you're going to launch your theories from a public platform to a group of impressionable youngsters.
Listen, those kids were mature and intelligent. And they understood what I was trying to say, even if you don't.
Mom? Mom?
Yes, dear. Trouble?
Mom, it's terrible.
Hi, you're beautiful.
Hello, Daddy.
What's the matter, huh?
I'm so mad I could die.
About what,
She's
Joni?
an ugly old hag.
Who is?
Victoria Regina.
What is this, your witch's brew?
No, it's special recipe my grandpapa taught me.
Okay,
Don't worry about it, thanks.
don't worry about it. What's wrong again? I'm sorry.
We just read the part of the play, and I won't do it. I won't.
Sorry.
Hang up your coat.
I'll do it in a minute.
Gee, that was quick.
Hey, would you like some cold to drink? Please, Liz, I need a Coke or something. Okay. I don't understand why Helen Hayes would take an odd part like that.
And mislead you.
She gets older in every scene. Do I have to do it?
Well,
Did you say you would?
But there are plenty of girls at school that are much better equipped to play old women.
Well, if you gave your word to do it, I think there's only one honest course to follow, Joni.
But I only took the part so I could get out of gym twice a week. What?
huh? Wait, I didn't quite follow that.
Practice for the play and gym period fall at the same time every week.
Well, in all this time I thought you were seeking culture.
So in view of that, do I have to do the part, Daddy?
Well, unless you or this Mr. Thompson can find a replacement before practice starts, you most certainly have to do what you promised to do. Isn't that right, dear?
I agree. That's right.
Well, I don't understand that reasoning.
I'm sorry.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Daddy.
Oh, hiya, kitten. How's things?
Oh, things are good. Hi, Mom.
Hi, sweetie.
Daddy, your speech today was simply wonderful.
Well, thank you, kitten. I appreciate
All
that.
the girls at school say you must be the most terrific man in the whole world. Everybody adores you. They say they wish their fathers were as liberal-minded as you are.
Well, it's just a matter of saying the right thing at the right time.
But it was such a courageous stand to take.
Well, well, not really.
Well, we want you to know that every girl of the junior and senior class support your stand and was moved to action by your stirring words. Please sign this, Mom.
What is it, dear?
A petition. How many signatures have we got? Over 100.
Oh,
Daddy,
huh?
we want you to know that we will back you against any and all opposition, regardless of the consequences.
Howard, have you seen this?
No, what? What?
We, the undersigned, do herewith subscribe to the statement of Howard G. Carroll. Quote, I would abolish gymnasium for girls because it infringes on their rights as individuals, and no one should be forced to do anything he doesn't want to do. Unquote.
Who started this petition, girls?
The girls of the junior and senior classes.
But, kitten, you didn't have a right to start this without asking my permission first.
We only quoted you. And you don't mind, do you, Daddy?
Well, I didn't mean to make an issue out of this.
Howard, you'd better do something to stop this.
You mean you said it and you didn't mean it?
Well, yes, I said it, but I didn't mean to abolish gym for girls.
Daddy.
It was a basic little speech on manners.
You mean you approve of gym for girls?
Well, no, not exactly.
Howard, exactly what did you say?
Hang on to this, hang on. Let me get my speech out and I'll read it to you. Here it is, okay. Perhaps one reason that young men do not conform to the rules of etiquette is that they see girls playing volleyball and basketball, thus losing sight of their femininity.
Okay. And then you said it.
Yeah. What? Well, I may have extemporaneously said that one idea might be to change the method of gym for girls.
Howard, what sort of change, dear?
Well, I said that they should take long walks during those periods.
I agree with Daddy. So do I.
Well, it stands to reason, Agnes, that competitive sports are too rough on young girls.
Howard, I'll bet the school board's looking for the highest tree in town right now.
Well, I think Daddy absolutely put his finger on the root of the problem. I think your speech was positively breathtaking.
Well, thank you, sweetheart.
I think all men stink. Hello, Pop.
Well, don't retract that statement just because I'm here.
I wasn't going to.
What went wrong between you and Tommy today, dear?
He always wants me to do something that I don't want to do. Because he doesn't want me to do something that he doesn't want me to do. That's the trouble with men.
You know that's true, Howard.
Well, yeah, it's confused enough to be.
What does Tommy want you to do? Be a cheerleader.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing. If you want to be a cheerleader, I just don't want to be a cheerleader.
Well, then don't do it, dear. Don't you let anyone infringe on your basic rights.
Why don't you put a washer on that drip?
He's
He's not a drip. He just frightens you because he's got brains. He doesn't frighten Eddie, though, does he? Oh, you big four-letter man. B-O-R-C.
That's enough, girls.
Where's Lizzie, Mom?
Try the kitchen.
Ask Eddie what happened yesterday.
Ugh.
She frights me.
Why?
She has no dignity. She runs around the school like a wild gazelle. Yesterday, she was wrestling with two boys, sophomores.
She's just high-spirited, that's all.
Everybody laughs at her, and it reflects on my standing among the seniors.
Well, Joni, that just means you live in reflected laughter, dear. I should think that would be a very happy situation.
Well, I can see you don't understand, Mother.
Oh. Well, take it up with your father, dear. He's very understanding.
Daddy, do I have to do Victoria?
How did we get back to this?
I have to circulate petitions, and I won't have any time now that you've endorsed your stand.
Don't you want to do it?
No.
Do you think maybe I could do it?
Why, yes. You'd be much better than I would, and you'd save my
Oh,
life.
no, great! Let's go upstairs and read it to you.
All right, and we'll tell Mr. Thompson tomorrow before class.
Oh, he's going to be at the drugstore later on. We can tell him then.
All right.
Oh, wait a minute, girls. Seems to me you're both riding roughshod over a moral issue here.
What do you mean, Mother?
Joni, Mr. Thompson asked you to play that part. You haven't got the right to pass it on to Virginia or anyone else without his knowledge and consent.
Even if I don't want to do it and Jeannie does?
This isn't a decision for you two to settle between you.
But Daddy says no one should be
Howard.
forced.
Well, I know what I said, but that has nothing to do with this.
You mean you were wrong?
Well, no, not exactly. It's just that you can't take one rule and apply it to every situation.
Not even if they're related situations?
Well, sometimes, kitten, but not all the time.
Why not, Daddy?
Well, because, Joni, you gave your promise before I gave my speech.
But Daddy! I want the part and I don't want to take Jim.
So doesn't that make everything all right?
Agnes!
Don't drag me into this.
I asked Mr. Thompson, and he says yes, is it all right then?
Oh, please, Daddy.
Oh, all right, you can ask him, but don't force it on him, okay?
I won't. Thanks, Daddy.
You're wonderful.
Oh, yeah. Get upstairs.
Well, if Eddie comes, will you please call me?
All right, dear. Well, Howard, you certainly are developing a sense of organized chaos.
It's just that social relationships are hard sometimes.
I know, Howard. But you know, dear, there are times when everyone has to do something they don't want to do.
Did you put a dent in the right front fender of my car this morning?
Yes?
How?
Doing something I didn't want to do.
Uh-huh.
I hit a police car.
What?
Oh, and Barney White's been trying to get a hold of you. Thinks he wants to quote you on your speech.
Oh, he does? Well.
He'll probably want a picture too, Howard.
I haven't got a picture yet.
Maybe you ought to have some made here.
Well, maybe I should. Oh, you always get so upset over these things.
I wonder why.
Barn! Yeah, this is Howie. Did you call earlier? Well, no, they sort of amplified it.
Oh, come now.
No. What? How did you get a copy of the petition? Oh, they did? Well, I may have suggested that one thing they might do is take long walks during those periods. You know what George Washington said? Long walks are the best exercise.
He must have said something else.
Yes. Well, sure, Barn, you can quote me on that. Shouldn't cause any trouble. Oh, thank you. Yeah, thanks for calling. Well, seems to have created quite a stir.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't understand this, Agnes, because you're not as close to the problems of kids nowadays as I am.
Oh, no. I stay in the house all day. I'll get it, Lizzie. You know, dear, this type of reasoning can lead to a terrible disease called hoof in the mouth.
Listen, even boys aren't as aggressive and overt as some girls are today.
Oh, really, Howard?
Hi, Mrs. Carroll.
Hi, Eddie. Come on in.
Hi, Eddie.
Hi, Mr. Carroll.
Have a seat.
Thanks.
Joni, Ed's here.
I'll be down in a minute, Mother.
All right.
So, what do you think of this guy coming all the way from New York to try and steal my girl?
I beg your pardon?
This actor. That's why I gave my girl the part to play. He better not fool around with my girl. I guess he doesn't know I'm the big man in this school.
I guess not, Eddie.
Say, Mr. Carroll, that was some speech you gave in school today.
Well, thank you, Eddie.
Yeah, after school, all the guys were bowing to the girls and holding their coats. It was a regular 18th century ball.
I'll bet.
I got so swept away I had to open the car door for Joan. I never did that before in my life. She was so shocked she staggered.
She's not accustomed to gentility, is she?
Oh.
Oh, sorry. Always make my father nervous too.
Yes, Eddie. How are your father's ulcers?
Mr. Carroll, I knew I had something to tell you. Football practice starts tomorrow.
Oh, did you hear that, Agnes?
No, I'm tuned out.
It sure does, so you better get your tickets now or you'll never see me run.
Oh, pity the day. Eddie, well, how's the team going to do this year?
Like I told Coach this afternoon, that's it. Coach put 10 other guys on the field and give me the ball.
Oh, that was so nice of you, Eddie.
Yeah, I murder on the field.
I think you're murder off.
Thanks. Did I tell you how many colleges you're trying to get me?
Not yet.
Yeah, I got the list right here.
Hi, Musclehead.
Virginia.
Hey, kid.
What are you doing? Showing Mom and Pop your scrapbook?
Why don't you stop?
Why don't you tell them what happened yesterday?
No, it'll embarrass
It was
him.
an accident.
It was not.
What happened?
He insulted me.
I did not.
You did so, you reactionary.
Enough of that. What happened? Tell me.
He called Tommy Green a sissy.
So what has that got to do with you?
Let her finish.
Finish.
Every time one boy wants to insult another, he calls him a sissy. By that they imply that girls are inferior to boys.
And they're not.
I see your point.
Oh, pass.
So, yesterday after school when the track team was out, I challenged him to a 100-yard dash.
I didn't want to race a girl.
At first, he just laughed. But after I needled him for a while, he said he'd show me.
Well, what happened?
I ran him into the ground.
You mean you beat him? By 5 yards.
3 yards!
Howard.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
Well, I had a bad foot.
You did not.
I'm ready, Eddie.
Oh, come on, let's go.
Eddie, what's wrong with your foot?
I sprained it
When?
yesterday.
But you weren't limping this afternoon.
Come on, let's go. It's late.
Joni, be home in time for dinner, okay?
All right.
Otherwise, I'll have to send Virginia out to run you and your athlete down.
Bye, Daddy.
Bye, kitten.
See you, everybody.
Bye, sweetheart.
And as for you, young lady,
What?
don't ever do that again.
Why not?
Because it's unladylike.
But, Pa, I can beat him.
I don't care. Just try to remember your girl, okay?
I wish I were a man.
Virginia.
Would you rather him live with the delusion that girls are inferior and be disillusioned later in life?
I don't care anything about him. It's her I'm talking about.
Is this a copy of your speech?
Yes, it is.
May I read it?
Sure, go ahead.
Thanks. Pop,
Yes?
do you love me?
Of course I love you.
I'm glad, because you're really going to have to.
Now, what do you suppose she meant by that?
I don't know, Howard, but I think they're going to have to take Virginia for very long walks.
Liz,
Yes.
this is just merely curiosity. Didn't I just see you hanging up Virginia's sweater?
Yeah, you did. Why?
I don't mean to offend. Just wondering. Her above all, huh?
She, dear.
She?
She.
Doesn't sound right.
She. It's she.
She above all?
Why shouldn't I hang up her sweater?
I just don't want you to spoil her. Okay?
No one's going to spoil her, Howard.
Besides, you spoiled the other two.
That's silly.
Not silly.
She's right.
How?
They kiss you and bully you into doing anything they like.
That is-
Virginia tried to do something, and you become the father.
And I don't see why she should be handicapped just because she wasn't a boy.
I don't.
That's why she hung up her coat.
So there.
Why is it I never seem to win one of these things? Huh? What is it, my choice of words or phrases or something?
Would you like a jelly bean, dear?
No! Liz, from now on she has my consent to run against 5 horses at Hialeah Park every day.
She'd win.
You know, if you would have listened to me, we wouldn't have had any of these problems with gym for girls and running foot races.
What are you talking about, Howard?
I told you 3 times. Have a son, but no, you wouldn't listen to me.
It's Tommy Green.
Hello, Tommy.
Hello, hiya, Tommy.
Mr. Carroll.
Ginger! Will you come up here a minute, Liz? Tommy's here. Tell him to wait. Wait.
Yes, ma'am.
Have a seat, Tommy.
Hi. Thank you, sir. I heard your speech today,
Everybody did.
and I must say it was quite fascinating.
Well, thank you, Tommy. Say, did you hear that football practice starts tomorrow?
Yes, sir. About that speech, sir.
No, you don't play football, do you, Tommy?
No, sir. In that speech, you were...
Boy, I wish I was back in school. I'd run that Eddie Davis racket. Did I ever tell you about my football days?
Not recently.
No.
Hiya, Tommy.
Hello, Ginger.
What do you want?
Well, I came to see if you want to take a walk down to the drugstore and take a look at that New York actor.
No thanks. I'm doing some research on individual rights.
Oh, well, I had something to tell you anyway.
Well, tell me.
I've decided that you don't have to be a cheerleader if you don't want to be.
Thanks.
I believe no one should be forced to do anything he or she wants to do.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Wait a second here, young man. Are you the one responsible for teaching this human dynamo that she's the equal of anyone anywhere?
No one had to teach me that.
I wasn't talking to you, Flash.
Go ahead, Tommy. Tell what you believe.
Well, sir, in principle, I believe anyone should be allowed to compete on any level on which they choose.
I see.
To deprive any person, man or woman, of his constitutional right is to deny them the basic fundamental law of the land as set down by our founding fathers when they said, we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal.
Well, thank you, Tommy.
And I must say that it is a privilege and an honor of every American to act the way he likes, think the way he likes, speak the way he likes, and vote and worship as they please.
Well, that's very good, but,
And I must say, regardless of race, color, or sex, there are no second-class citizens in these United States. And we, as liberty-loving people, must seek out all evils, never retreat from the heat of battle, and seek to destroy all forces of reaction and impede progress. That's from me last year's debating medal.
I can see why.
Well, I wrote it myself.
Tommy, that was excellent.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're modest. You prefaced all that by saying, in principle, I believe. But the point is, Tommy, how do you really feel about Virginia running foot races against Eddie?
Well, Miss Carroll, I don't feel that she should do it.
What?
I can't help it. That's just the way I feel.
Then you don't believe what you've always said.
Well, sure I do.
But you mean I should compete against Eddie Davis?
Well, sure you should. With Eddie or with any other man. But you should compete as a girl and not a boy.
If everybody is equal, what difference does it make how I compete?
It makes a difference because men and women are equal, but not the same. If there weren't any difference, I'd go out on dates with Eddie Davis.
What for? I can faster than he can.
Look, Ginger, that's not why I like you.
Why do you like me?
Because you're a girl.
And that's why you don't want me to compete against Eddie.
Yes, that's it.
And you don't think he's an equal.
Well, sure I do, but I think of you as a girl first.
Well, I want to be an equal first.
So I don't want to talk about this anymore.
You didn't want to talk about it because you know you're wrong.
I want to go home and think. Good night, Miss Carroll. Mr. Carroll.
Goodbye.
Wait a minute, you can't get over that easy.
Yes, I can. Poor.
That poor boy. Seems to me that Virginia has discovered a new sex. Boys, girls, and equals.
I worry about that boy.
He's terribly confused.
Never mind, dear. One of you will straighten out.
Pop, don't you think it's wonderful I can run faster than anyone else in the whole school?
No, Virginia, I'm afraid that I agree with Tommy. I don't think it's great that you can run faster than anybody else.
Pop, did you really mean everything you said in your speech today?
If I didn't mean them, I wouldn't have said them.
You heard what he said, Mom.
That kid will be the death of me.
You'll survive it.
It's Mr. Wilson in the hat.
Hi,
Hello,
Bob.
Agnes.
Well, hello, Bob.
Howdy.
Can I take your coat?
No, I can only stay a minute.
How about something to drink then?
No, thanks. Let's get right to the point, shall we?
Okay.
First of all, I need you to do me a big favor. If at some loud moment I should ever ask you to speak again, please turn me down.
I'd be delighted.
Great. Now, on that disagreeable note, we shall go forward.
Okay?
Have you seen this petition that you girls are circulating in class?
Yes, I have.
And doesn't it make you shudder?
No, it doesn't.
Obviously, you haven't heard about Virginia. This afternoon, she reported for the boys' football team.
Oh, no.
Football?
Yes.
Agnes, call her down here. We'll get this straightened out in five minutes.
I'll count.
Get out here!
Surely, even if she insists on playing, there won't be a problem in stopping her.
Unfortunately, Agnes, there's no rule that says she can't play.
Well, can't you declare her ineligible or something like that?
On what grounds, Howard? I'm not defending her, I'm just asking.
Well, do me a favor, huh? And don't ask those kind of questions when she's here.
Did you call me Pop?
Yeah, sit down.
Yes, sir. Hello, Mr. Wilson.
Hello.
Virginia, what is this nonsense about you playing football?
You mustn't shout at children, Pop. You misread them.
What on earth made you do a thing like this?
Pop's speech. I've always wanted to play football. They said everybody should be able to do what they want to do.
No. That's not what I said. I said nobody should be forced to do what he doesn't want to
What's
do.
the difference?
There's a lot of difference.
Well, I want to not play football.
Well, you're not going to.
Being arbitrary, Pop.
Virginia, don't you realize it's a dangerous game? And you could really get hurt.
I'd make a great halfback.
What makes you think that you can play football?
I can run. I can kick. You were a great halfback, and I see no reason why I can be just as good as you were.
Look,
Virginia, listen. You are not going to play football, and that's final.
You didn't object to Jeannie playing Victoria.
Well, that's different.
Not different.
Young lady, you will force me to pass regulation forbidding girls to partake in any sport.
All right. Go ahead, Mr. Wilson. But if I'm denied my athletic rights, I'll refuse to attend classes.
Then I'll have you expelled.
Let me remind you, sir, that the Constitution and the Bill of Rights guarantee every American citizen's life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Are you going to let her talk to me like that?
What?
Are you going to let her talk?
No. Virginia, surely you understand that we're only thinking of you.
It's not really me you're thinking of, Pop. It's yourself.
I am?
Yes, you're afraid if I go out to the football team, people will laugh at you.
Why should they laugh at me?
Because of that preposterous speech you made this afternoon.
You're putting your vanity above my freedom of choice.
I am not.
Yes, you are.
Whose side are you on?
My side, I think you're both wrong.
That's because you're afraid this change will bring on a lot of other changes in school.
Believe me, darling, that's not what I'm afraid of.
You're being old-fashioned, Mom.
I am?
Yes, you've accepted the theory that women shouldn't compete with men. Well, I haven't.
Virginia, if you persist with this nonsense, I'm going to cut off your allowance.
I don't need any money. I'm in training. You see, Pop, I don't ask to be on the team. All I ask is a chance to try out for it.
But, honey, you're not equipped to play football.
You can't say that until you give me a fair chance.
Virginia, you're a girl.
Lots of athletes are.
But they're not going to play football against men.
Because men won't let them. You're supposed to be sports. Another time your friend will be equal to you.
Or better than you.
Well, seems like there's only one answer to this problem, huh?
And what, may I ask, would that be?
Virginia, would you mind going upstairs, please? We'll discuss this later.
You're welcome, sweetheart.
Good night, Mr. Wilson. I'm going to bed at 8 o'clock, just like the coach ordered.
Where's she going?
That isn't upstairs, Virginia! What is that?
What's this all equipment?
Virginia, you cannot practice in this house.
5 minutes are past due. What is your solution?
I think that a lot of what she said makes a good deal of sense.
I might have expected you to say something like that.
What does the coach think, Bob?
The coach? We don't pay the coach to think. We pay the coach to teach English.
Those are fine words coming from an educator.
Howie, you can't believe everything you said this afternoon.
Bob, don't you think that a child should be left to seek his or her own fulfillment?
Of course, but not if it means chaos.
If chaos is the result in your school of the probings and searchings of a 14-year-old girl, then your foundations are rotten.
Now wait 1 minute. I would like to follow your reasoning through to its illogical conclusion.
Fine.
Let's say that Virginia wanted to burn down the house. Would you let her?
No. I would explain to her why it was wrong.
Why?
Well, because if she burned down the house, she wouldn't have a place to live.
Let's see. What if Virginia wanted to burn out One room in the house. What then?
It would depend on which room. If she felt that she really had to do it, I just might let her. And if she feels that she can play football, I think she deserves the chance to try.
You do.
I most certainly do. By golly, I made a statement and I'm going to stand by it.
Then you don't think you're wrong.
Bob, that is not for me and you to decide. It's for her to find out. Maybe after she's had her nose ground into the dirt for a couple of afternoons, she'll emerge from this a normal, healthy girl.
You know I don't have to wait that long. I can take care of this whole nonsense right now by expelling her.
Oh, sure you could. If you get a kick out of displaying naked authority.
Oh, I'm not going to. I don't blame Virginia. In dealing with people like you, it's the parent that's in much greater need of the education, not the child.
How are things going down here?
Oh, just fine, just peachy keen.
Oh, good.
Fine, yes. The girls, they want to abolish gym. Virginia, she wants to play football. Oh, I played with boys who want to smoke in class. Plus, I caught 2 kids necking in the corridor. Because of this speech, my life has become a model of exquisite misery.
Well, Bob, the problems of modern education aren't simple.
Agnes, it is my considered opinion your husband is a blight on the American academic scene. And a full-grown juvenile delinquent.
Well, you certainly didn't make an impression on him, didn't you, dear?
I better go catch him. He left his coat.
Oh, don't worry about it, Howard. He won't be cold for a long time yet. I'll have one of the kids take it to him to school tomorrow.
Did you hear the way that that kid talked to Bob Wilson?
Howard, do you really think she could be part Adele?
Mom, where's the sewing box?
Ask Lizzie. She's in the kitchen.
I've got to take a tug at his hair.
Hold that line! I hope that Eddie David tackles her so hard that her teeth rattle for a week.
I hope she beats Eddie Davis out for his position. Is elected captain of the team and makes All-American.
You can't make All-American until you're in college, dear.
Oh, excuse me.
That's okay. Now, isn't that ridiculous? What are you giggling at?
Oh, Howard, you know perfectly well you're proud and delighted you'd give your elf tooth to see that girl play.
You must think I'm insane.
I do, actually. I think you're the most wonderfully insane man I know. And I wouldn't want anyone else to be the father of my children.
I hope not. You know, this could be on the front page of tomorrow's newspaper.
Mm-hmm. Right along with your famous last words.
Oh my gosh.
Miss Carol!
Lizzie?
How's the road?
Stanley, did any news?
No, not yet. They just finished the last scrimmage.
Well, surely she should know by now whether or not she's made the team.
No, Coach Blake, don't tell nobody. He's cut until after they hit the locker room today.
Tell them they're what?
Cut. When the coach walks up to you and says, you're cut, that means you're not a member of the team anymore.
Oh, how do you know all these things?
I'm an authority. I've been to every practice session and I know all the plays by heart.
So does Howard.
Good coach, that Blake. Faster in game for the team and not much razzle dazzle.
That's a shame.
Good ground game, no air arm. Hey, Nick, this hurt. Hi. Have you heard any news?
How could I? This was Jim Day.
Well, don't you take Jim to his school?
Oh, no. She upholds her father's ideals and cuts Jimmy in protest. Of course, she spends 2 afternoons a week in detention, but she fixes them.
Well, didn't you go down to the field to cheer Ginger on?
I most certainly did not.
Why not?
Because the girls of the senior class have declared the football field off limits.
Joni, that sounds like the senior class of 1890.
Well, you can laugh if you like, Mother, but if Daddy lets Ginger be on the team, we're boycotting the game.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself, acting like a 12-year-old child.
Why not?
I go down to the field every day to watch Ginger play, and let me tell you, she can kick and she can run.
We'll see how much good Ginger does the team in the face of an economic embargo.
Does this mean war?
Tell me as soon as she comes in, all right?
All right.
Minnie,
Hi, darling.
hello.
What's the matter, Jim?
Nothing.
How's the play going?
I hate that guy Thompson. He's nothing but an unmitigated bore.
Janie.
He is. He says crony, vicious, insulting things to me. And everyone laughs. And it's all that fault.
How do you arrive at that, dear?
If he wouldn't have let Ginger try out for the team, I wouldn't have all this humiliation.
Like what?
Well, like today guy said, Miss Carroll, this is a love save, not an off-tackle smash.
Sorry.
Is she here? Hi, Daddy.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Carroll. Would you like something cold to drink?
No, save it for Virginia Carroll, girl athlete.
All right, I will.
How come so late, dear?
I was detained at the office. Here you are.
Thank you, dear.
Sure. Have any of you seen this yet?
It's Virginia. It's
Ginger. It says the new look in football. Stories and photos start on page 103. It's a full layout.
This is fantastic.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Here's the page.
Read what it says.
Okay. Virginia Carroll, daughter of town banker, as she appears after a hard 2-hour scrimmage.
She could have combed her hair.
Here's a picture of Mr. Wilson.
Here's a picture of the bank.
What's this? Why, it's a photostatic copy of the petition against Jim for girls.
Dad?
Wasn't my fault.
Petition circulated day, she reported for first practice, quotes banker father who said, I would abolish gymnasium for girls because no one should be forced to do anything he doesn't want to do. I still agree with you, Daddy.
So do I.
Thank you.
Let's see here. Okay. In a quiet, straight-laced town, a beautiful 14-year-old redhead. Beautiful 14-year-old redhead.
Read on.
Daughter of ultra-conservative banking stock. Ooh.
Careful.
Let's see. Kicks over the traces by reporting as a football candidate.
Howard, have you seen this?
Oh, yes, and so will 27 million other Americans this week.
It says, Father Howard G. Carroll is a victim of such remarks as, we'd never have to worry about depression here if he could run a bank like she can run a ball. His rival bank has printed blotters which say,
Which says, if you're looking for a halfback, you got the wrong bank.
This is fantastic, Howard.
Oh, they didn't even mention my playing in Victoria.
Oh, poor baby.
Jeannie, Joni, would you two mind going upstairs, please? I'd like to be alone to talk with your mother for a few minutes.
Daddy, will you sign this petition against Ginger playing football?
Only if you can guarantee me international notoriety.
Very well, but it's not your fault I have to take Jim twice a week.
Well, I'm sorry. Now, would you mind going upstairs for about 5 minutes, please?
Can I take this home?
No, you may not.
I just want to read about the movie of the week.
Agnes.
Joni, do as you've been told, please.
Oh, very well, but everybody is being very selfish.
How?
Because no one has taken into consideration what these pitchers are doing to Eddie's morale. He is the captain of the team, you know.
Shoot, shoot!
As if anybody needed to worry about Eddie's morale.
Agnes, I have had one tough day.
At the bank, dear.
Uh-huh.
Because of the pictures?
Oh, there's one that you haven't seen yet. It's on the next page. Next page. There you go.
Howard.
Read what it says.
Virginia Carroll, girl football player, and father roll around in the dirt during hard scrimmage after she's knocked him down. Howard!
I was out on the practice field watching a scrimmage a few weeks ago. Okay?
Okay.
At one point, they had an in sweep coming towards me. She threw a block, missed the in, hit me, and down we went. Just happened to be the day that the photographers were there.
Oh, dear.
It was a bad block. It was too high. Afterwards, she picked me up, looked me right in the eye, shook her head, and said, "Spectators."
Was she hurt?
Oh, no, she got right off of me.
Well, you weren't hurt, were you?
Well, aside from a few minor cuts and bruises, general giddiness, a lack of focus, the fact that they had to take me over, sit me down on the bench, and give me a drink of water, all was fine.
Howard, dear, I hate to break this news to you, but you're too old to play football anyway. What did Ed Hoffman say?
He didn't say anything. He just stood on the sidelines, shaking his head.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I think he was mad that I missed the ball carrier.
Oh, Howard, are you serious?
He said he would be over later on today to talk to me.
Well, Ed Hoffman may be president of the bank, but he does have the sense of humor.
Oh, he has that. He definitely has that. Agnes, it was just a simple little speech on manners.
Don't worry about it, dear. As soon as Virginia walks in, we'll just simply sit her down and explain the situation.
Oh,
to her.
no, we won't.
What?
No. I forbid you to explain anything to that girl of the possible consequences of her madness.
Howard, you're being silly.
I mean it. I will not suppress this girl.
You are being stubborn and ridiculous.
That's the final word. Look, if we lose the house, we can move over underneath the bleachers, right next to her beloved football field.
That's just wonderful, Howard. And on Saturdays, I can sell peanuts.
You know, even if I did ask her to stop, she would probably say that I was putting such selfish motives as home, family, security ahead of her basic rights.
Howard, I love you.
Well, thank you. Where is she?
Don't worry, dear. She'll be home before long.
She probably took the longest way home just to make me nervous. There's Ed. I was hoping that she would be here before he got here, but no, she'd rather spend her time in some dirty old locker room.
Oh, Mr. Carroll, you're famous.
Liz, would you mind answering the door, please?
Not at all.
Thank you. Agnes, why couldn't she have been a boy?
Better luck next time, dear.
It's Mr. Hoffman.
Hi, Ed.
Hi, Ed.
How are
Hi,
you
Howie,
doing?
Agnes.
Can I take your coat?
Oh, no, I'll just put it over the back of the chair.
Okay.
I'll get it, Liz. I'll get it. Have a seat.
Thank you. Sorry, Liz.
That's all right, Mr. Hoffman.
Well, Ag, how does it feel to be the wife of a national figure?
Pretty awesome, Ed.
I'll bet. You must be very proud of him.
I'm very proud.
You surely put this town on the map.
Oh, I have. I certainly have. And myself, too.
Yes. Did he tell you? Ever since Life magazine came out, people have been streaming into the bank.
No.
Not to do business, you understand, just to make jokes.
Yeah, that'll pass.
At one point, I was closing a deal with old man Bryant.
Today?
When into the bank came all this noise and confusion. A bunch of our most respected merchants singing and dancing, doing a snake dance and hollering, boom-a-lacka, sis boom-ba, Howard Carroll, rah-rah-rah.
What did you do?
Well, I'm president of the bank. What could I do? I ran out of my office. I got on the end of the line. Boom-a-lacka, sis boom-ba, Howard Carroll, rah-rah-rah. Wonder what happened to old man Bryant. I lost him somewhere in the snake dance.
Sounds like a legion convention.
Practically. By the way, out on the street, I met Mrs. Clark Brackett. She said, "Young man," you know how old she is.
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Yes, Mrs. Clark Brackett." She said, "What's an anarchist?" I said, "Why?" She said, "I want to know if it's dangerous."
What did she mean by anarchist, Ed?
Didn't you read Bob Wilson's statement in Life?
Oh, he's a stuffed shirt anyway.
Yeah. Let me read it to you. Right here under his picture, caption reads, "Irate Principal Robert Wilson." And then the quote says, I do not blame the poor child. I blame her father, who told me he would let her burn down the house.
No. He misquoted me. I said that I might let her burn out one room of the house.
Oh, that's different. I knew you wouldn't let her burn down the whole house.
Her room.
Howard, that's right next to our room.
I can't change that. Move her room.
Howard, what in the world are you doing?
Well, that's settled. Anyway, Bob goes on to say, any person who preaches anarchy to his children is either a complete idiot or has no regard for law and order. In any case, he hardly seems qualified to hold an advisory position at a bank.
Well, he has some nerve.
He certainly has. Every bank has its right to have at least one lunatic to deal with the depositors.
Oh, thank you.
Howard, you don't really think that people will believe what he says, do
Well,
you?
listen, even if they do, they can go jump in the river as far as I'm concerned.
What are you getting so upset about?
I'm just getting a little tired of all this kidding.
It's just fun, Howie.
No, a lot of those jokes were on the level today.
Hello.
They passed me.
Is Virginia home yet?
No, she is not.
Well, do you mind if I sit and wait?
Tommy, we're in the middle of an important discussion. You're going to have to leave.
I'll be completely unobtrusive.
I am sorry, Tommy, but you're going to have to leave, okay?
Come on, I don't know if this means anything to you, Mr. Carroll. But if Virginia makes the team, she and I are through.
Now,
Young man, you know who I am?
Why, of course, Mr. Hoffman.
Well, if you don't leave right now, when I get out of here, I'm going to foreclose the mortgage on your father's house.
Well, if you're going to put it that way,
Teenagers, I have two of them, and every day I grow to hate that age more. Well, shall we get back to our scrimmage?
you heard what Tommy said. He won't date Virginia because I allow her to play football.
Howie, he's just a kid.
Now, you've probably heard a lot of other people talking like that.
Oh, don't be silly.
And now, because of that idiotic statement by Bob Wilson, I'll probably be put under all kinds of neat little pressure now.
Nobody's putting you under pressure.
Oh, no? I see how these things work. One little statement causes a whole chain reaction.
You're making yourself angry.
I am angry!
There's no reason to be.
Oh, I can see where this is leading to.
Where?
First, it starts out as jokes, right? Jokes. And then it leads to criticism. Pretty soon, it's serious discussions. And before you know it, the board of directors at the bank is telling me that unless I behave in a certain way, they'll suspend my contract with the bank. Well, listen, I am not about to modify my behavior for any person like Bob Wilson.
What's the matter with
And
you?
furthermore, the board of directors thinks that I am too incompetent to hold an advisory position at the bank, that I'll resign.
Howard.
Hey, listen, we don't have to live here. We can move someplace where the people aren't so smart and provincial!
Howie, I came over here to talk this over with you as a friend, but you're blowing this up all out of proportion.
I don't think so. And what's more, I don't think that this is just a friendly visit.
Now, wait a minute. If this is the way you're going to behave, maybe we better investigate this a little closer.
See, I don't see what's so friendly about this, huh? Do you?
I'm not talking to you now as a friend. I'm talking to you now as the president of the bank.
Well. Okay, Mr. President. Let's have it.
Well, maybe you're right. When it was just a matter of Virginia playing football, we all laughed. But if these jokes are going to make you so hot under the collar that you start to behave out in public the way you're behaving in this room, then Bob Wilson's statement begins to make more sense every day.
See, what did I tell you? What do you suggest I do?
Well, when I came over here, I was going to suggest that you stop making speeches for a while. But now I suggest that you stay away from the football field. That you ask Barney White to create a retraction of your statement on Gym for Girls. And that you tell Virginia she can't play football.
And if I won't?
Is there some kind of great big moral issue here?
I think there is, yes.
Well, I don't. And I suggest you take my advice.
Ed, you make it sound serious.
It's all up to Howie. In 6 weeks, we're both up for contract renewals. If Virginia's still playing football, and Howie's still the clown of the town, our bank becomes the first national laughing place, and I don't think we can afford that.
And suppose what you just described were actually to happen. Where would your stand be? I mean, as far as Howard's concerned.
Agnes, I love you both. And I'm a banker. The only thing I stand behind is money.
Well, I don't have to tell you what I think of that statement.
Well, I hope you don't. And I'm not going to tie up my security with yours just for the right of Howie to pretend he's back in school and the right of Virginia to play football.
Now, Ed Hoffman, let me tell you a...
Agnes. Do you mind leaving Ed and I alone for a few minutes, please?
Excuse me.
And the reason I asked Agnes to leave was so that I could thank you for the charity and understanding that you are showing to us in this situation.
You're very welcome.
I don't know what kind of old bone you and the board of directors are going to throw to me where I won't cause you any trouble. I've got an idea, Ed. Why don't you lock me away in the vaults in the morning and then let me out in the evenings so that I won't be seen talking to anybody or causing any trouble. Sort of a golden solitary confinement.
Howie, this problem has a very logical solution. You're just blowing it out of proportion.
I don't think so. And here's more. I will not retract anything that I have said. I will say whatever I like, whenever I like. And I will not ask Virginia to stop playing football.
Why not?
Because I believe that everyone should be allowed to do what he wants to do.
Howie, she's a girl, not a boy.
I am quite well aware of that fact.
Sometimes I think you're not anymore.
Virginia.
Hello, Mr. Hoffman.
Hello, Virginia.
Excuse me.
Virginia, did you make the team?
Really not talk about it right now.
I'm sorry, but I have to know.
Oh, Pop,
Don't cry, baby.
I can't help it. I was given a fair chance.
Agnes! Well, you got your answer.
What is it, dear?
Virginia's upstairs.
Did she make the team?
No.
What? That's not right. She was best thing on field yesterday.
Just not good enough.
Well, she's a better halfback than most fullbacks.
Well, I'd better be on my way. Goodbye, Howie.
Goodbye, Ed.
I'm glad my little visit here didn't create any hard feelings.
So mad at Ed Hoffman, I'd like to open up a bank across the street and give away money.
There's one thing that I can't stand, is unfairness. She was better than half of the guys on the field today.
You wanted her to make that team, didn't you?
Darn right I did.
So did I. Liz and I knelt in front of a lighted oven and prayed she'd make it.
Pa, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Is there a difference between boys and girls?
In what way?
Well, one day you said no one took the balls on the field as fast as I could.
Mm-hmm.
And then the coach said I play smarter heads-up football than Eddie Davis.
Oh. You
What
did,
I
huh?
want to know is because he's a boy and I'm a girl. Because he made the first team and I only made the scrub team.
No, that's not. It's. Wait a second. What did you just say?
You made the scrub team?
Yeah, he made varsity.
Is that what you were crying about a little while ago?
Sure.
Did you hear that, Agnes? She made the scrub team. Oh, baby, that's wonderful!
Peanut, get your hot roasted peanuts. Peanut, get your hot roasted peanuts. Peanut?
Thank you. Who was it, Joni? Just more mail. How many bags? Well, the biggest one yet.
Can you handle it, dear?
Where shall I put it?
Well, Joni, where does it look best?
Housework. You think Lizzie would stay home and clean house on Friday, being she insists on going to the game every Saturday?
Sure, dear.
Why isn't Jeannie helping today?
Honey, she's an actress. She's upstairs resting. Her play opens tonight. Let's do something about all this fan mail, shall we?
All right. I don't understand why everyone in America sends ginger letters.
Maybe it's because Yale named her first lady of the gridiron, dear.
You'd think that Daddy would stay home and help us today.
And how do you figure that?
Well, he had let Ginger be on the team, he and Lizzie would be at home, and I would be at the game today.
I see.
You might at least assume some responsibility for changing my whole entire life.
I'll let him know when he comes home, dear.
Another thing I don't understand about Daddy is
Joni, please relax. It's only 4 o'clock in the afternoon. What's the matter with you anyway?
I've got a big problem.
What kind of a problem?
Well, ever since Ginger started playing football, Eddie's been giving me trouble every Saturday night.
What kind of trouble, dear?
Well, he used to take me on a date, we'd go to the movies, and then have a soda, and then talk for a while, and then he would say goodnight.
And now?
And now he starts kissing me goodnight as soon as we get out the front door.
Believe me, Joni, when I tell you that has absolutely nothing to do with Virginia playing football.
What am I going to do?
Well, there are several things you could do. But first, I'd suggest you develop a sort of an attitude and not allow yourself to get into compromising situations.
Have you ever been in the front seat of a car with a man?
Yes, with your father.
What did you do?
I managed to fend him off with dignity and the illusion of superiority.
I'm hard to be more superior than Eddie.
I'm sure. Let me tell you a secret, kiddo. I think you're going to have to bend his ego a little. But once you get the upper hand with a kid like Eddie, then it's downhill all the way.
What if he gets the upper hand on me?
Joni, that's what you're really worried about, isn't it? Honey, I think you're intelligent enough to realize the difference between what's real and good for you and what isn't. Because if you didn't, you wouldn't be sitting here telling me your troubles.
I guess you're right.
Joni, there may be times when that choice will be rather difficult. But speaking as a woman who knows you very well, I have absolute confidence in your judgment.
Thanks, Mom.
You're welcome. And don't worry, dear. Everything will be all right. And it better be.
I hope it works out like you and Daddy.
So do I.
Mom, how did you meet Dad?
He picked me up on the street one day.
Mom!
Yeah, I heard this whistle. And I turned around and I said, "Did you whistle at me?" And this guy standing there. He shook his head and I said, "What for?"
What did he say?
Nothing. He just held out his hand. He was holding 2 black jelly beans. That's how it all started. He was 7 and I was 5.
You've loved him ever since.
Ever since. And always will.
Where's my mother?
What? I must be tired.
Oh, hello, darling.
Hello, dear.
How's the play going to be tonight, Miss Bernhardt?
Guys decided better than Helen did. Dress for rehearsal night.
Helen who, dear?
Helen Hayes.
Oh, excuse me.
He's the most fascinating man.
He is. I thought you hated him last week.
Oh, well, that was before I understood theater.
Oh.
He wasn't being mean. He was simply being caustic.
Oh.
He says I have all the makings of a great house.
He does, huh?
He says I should come to New York.
Well, don't lie down on that pink cloud with those dirty socks on.
Oh. Don't you think I'll make a great actress, Mother?
I'll come backstage and tell you tonight, Tina. You know, one thing I do think is that you and Joni show very poor taste in not being at the game this afternoon.
Oh dear.
No one goes to the games this year.
Oh, honey, you're wrong. Your father says those stands are packed every week, and most of the people come just to see your sister kick a football around before the game starts.
Well, they'll get tired of that when she doesn't play.
Oh, are those grapes terribly sour, Jeannie?
Anyway, it's all Daddy's fault. We can't go to the game.
What do you mean?
Well, if he would have let Ginger try out for the team, us juniors would be allowed to go.
That's right.
Oh, wait a minute here. When you thought gymnasium for girls was being abolished, your father allowed you to give up the part in the play, didn't he?
Yes.
And didn't he allow you to play in Victoria?
Yes, Mother.
Okay, then why do you think it's wrong for your father not to deny Virginia the same right you two had?
Because we don't believe girls should be allowed to play football.
It's just not right, Mom.
Oh, I see. In other words, anything you two disagree with is wrong and should be stopped. Is that it?
Well, not exactly that.
Exactly what?
Well, we feel that Ginger should be allowed to do everything she wants to do as long as it's not playing football.
That's the resolution passed by the girls of the junior and senior classes.
By majority vote.
Of course, Mother.
Oh, I see. Then, by democratic procedure, you two have elected to tear up the Bill of Rights.
Mother, we haven't.
Heavens, that's interesting. If you hadn't, you would be willing to defend Virginia's right to play, whether you agreed with it or not. And another thing. You know, you two could learn a very good lesson from your father. Teach stands a chance of losing his job through all this. But he would rather take that chance than to deprive your sister her freedom of choice.
Gee. Father is sort of a Joan of Arc character, isn't he?
Yeah. Voices and all.
Well, from now on, I'm going to the games. Gee. Well, I'm going to go to the games, and if Eddie Davis is going to make one more remark about Ginger or Father, I'll kick him all over the school. What? He started this whole thing about the boycott because he was mad at Ginger.
Why shouldn't he be?
Well, why should he be?
Because she's running his prestige as captain of the team.
Well, I'm going to the game.
How dare you?
Okay, you two, that's enough. Go to neutral corners.
You're upsetting me emotionally, and I have a performance tonight.
She is a traitor to American womanhood, per se.
It was just a simple little speech on manners.
Agnes! Agnes!
Yes.
Where is she?
Where's
My daughter!
which one?
Ginger! Ginger!
Howard, what in the world has happened to you?
Oh, I tore down the goalpost.
You did what?
Did you hear?
No.
She scored a touchdown in the last 2 minutes of play!
Well, Howard, what did they do? Throw her over the goalpost?
Sit down and I'll tell you about it.
Are you going to start at the beginning?
No, last 2 minutes of the game.
Well, what happened before that?
She wasn't in the game until then.
Howard, you're either coloring this or it was an awfully dull afternoon.
Agnes, let me tell the story.
Certainly. Carry the ball.
Oh, good, okay. So last 2 minutes of the game, okay? The varsity 11 is down on the field fighting their hearts out. It's third down, 4 to go. We have the ball on our own 20-yard line. Should we try a pass with our backs to our own goal line, or should we run for the 4 yards?
Run.
No, we elected to kick.
Well, they're pretty young. Didn't you know they would?
The kick goes deep into the coffin corner.
What's that?
It's a 2-yard line.
Well, Howard, why do they call it Coffin Corner?
Agnes!
Okay, I'm sorry. It's even Coffin Corner.
Okay, the enemy takes possession of the ball. They try to smash at our lines. No gain. Second down, 10 to go. What should they do now? The right half takes the ball, drops back, deep into his own end zone, and fires a long pass deep into our own flat. There's 3 of their men down there. It really looks like it's going to be caught, but no. Eddie Davis smashes through, knocks the ball down, incomplete.
Good old Eddie Davis. Howard, take it easy on the pillow.
Okay. It's third down, 10 to go, 1 down. The right half takes the ball again. It starts wide on the end sweep. He's going wide. Our end is down. It looks like the ball carrier's going to break into the clear, but no!
No, Howard!
He knocks it down for a yard loss!
I thought he was going to break through.
Yeah, everybody did. Okay, it's 4th down, 10 to go.
No, it's 4th and 11. They lost a yard.
Hey, yeah, that's right. You're getting pretty good at this.
Thanks.
Okay, 4th and 11, they get into punt formation.
Where's Virginia?
She's still on the bench.
Howard, there's not much time left.
Yeah, as an electrical. Okay, it's 4th and 11. They're going to kick. Suddenly, a whistle blows. Our team calls timeout. We get into a huddle. The fans sense that something momentous is about to happen. Okay, one man stands up, breaks away from the huddle, and starts trotting towards the sidelines. It's Eddie Davis, the team captain. The crowd cheers. He was pretty good up there today. But who do you suppose they sent in to take his place, huh? My daughter! She trots away from the sidelines and out into the field. The fans go crazy! They scream, they yell, they whistle, they cheer, they shout, it's her! It's her! It's her! I am completely calm and silent. Now I know we're going to see some football. The referee greets her. She greets him.
Well, at least they're on friendly terms, Howard.
She joins the circle of her teammates. They're glad that she's in the
Howard,
game.
get on with the play.
Oh, come on, don't you want the mood? Okay, it's 4th and 11, the Betty kick. They send my daughter deep into the safety position to receive the punt. The ball is snapped. The kick is away. It's a long kick, real long. It floats up, way past our 50-yard line. She drifts back, takes possession of the ball deep in her own territory, and starts up the field. The ends try to box her in, but she slips free and starts with the right side. The stands are on their feet. She has no interference, okay? She's to the 50. She's to the 40. She shakes the tackler at the 35, and is trapped at the 30-yard line.
Big boy.
Reverse your field, I scream! Reverse your field!
Did she hear you?
She heard me.
Oh, good.
She cuts back to the 35, swings over to the left side, crosses over to the center, streaks into the clear, with only 3 men between her and the goal line.
3 men.
3 men. They start after her. She tries to fake them out of position, but they still keep coming. Suddenly, she spins straight onto the man, hurdles the man and tries to knock her out of bounds, and then she dances down the sideline stripe and over the goal line bar. A touchdown! Mwah! 6 points!
I'm glad that's over.
Oh, no, the extra point!
Oh, we don't want to hear about it.
Oh, what a game. What a game. Oh, I'm exhausted. After it was all over, the team carried her around on their shoulders. The fans surged out onto the field. And that modest little hero kept shouting, "Put me down! Put me down!"
And did they?
Oh, finally. Agnes, I don't want you to feel that you completely missed out on one of the greatest moments in the history of this town.
Don't worry, Howard. I'm sure we will relive this moment many times. And as the years roll by, it will become even more graphic.
Anyways, I brought you something.
Jelly beans.
A piece of that historic goalpost.
Oh. Thank you, Howard. I'll treasure it always.
Well, you don't have to take it if you really don't want it. I can...
No, I wouldn't be without it.
Oh, he's a shrewd man, that Blake.
He's shrewd?
Yeah, he's one of the smartest coaches I know.
Very interesting, Howard.
Do you know what he's been doing for the past 2 weeks, huh?
No, I don't.
He's been keeping her under wraps.
Howard, you know it's been getting awfully cold.
James, what is the use of talking to you? Under wraps means that he's been keeping her on the bench so that nobody would know how good she is.
Oh, why not?
Well, because if they didn't know, then she's a secret weapon.
Oh. That's very clever, Howard.
Oh, golly. I wonder where that kid learned to run like that.
I used to be able to run.
Oh, yeah. I remember.
Howard,
Huh?
what did the kids should come through?
Oh, that's okay. I'm sure they know about us by now. You know, I haven't been this excited since I was 18.
And I was 16.
You know, you're more beautiful now than you were then.
I am.
You sure am.
football every day.
Say, do we have to go to that play tonight?
We certainly do.
Let's come home right after it's over.
It's a very long play, Howard.
Where are the kids now?
All over. Feeling better, dear?
Hi, Daddy.
Hiya, sweetheart. Hey, did you hear about the game?
Huh.
Okay, it's the last 2 minutes of the game. Okay? And it's
Howard, don't you get all excited again, dear.
Excuse me.
Oh, Mom.
Yes, dear.
Thanks for the advice.
You're welcome.
fight 'em, Ginger, fight 'em, fight 'em. Beat 'em, Ginger, beat 'em, beat 'em. Run down that field like thunder. Show them that you're a wonder. I did a good job.
Miss Carol, have you heard about...
Excuse me. Oh, it's okay, Lizzie. We have no secrets.
Did you hear all the news?
I think I've just lived through it.
I told her all about it, Liz, but she doesn't know a thing about football.
Well, I tried.
Wasn't it wonderful? Wasn't she cute?
Cute! Ha! She was magnificent!
She certainly was.
Uh-huh.
Well, this certainly has been an emotional experience.
Liz, do you know what that Blake would probably do with her now?
Put her back in the wrap?
Exactly. Unless, of course, he needs her. He might save her for the traditional Thanksgiving Day game. Fight 'em, Ginger, fight 'em, fight 'em. Beat 'em, Ginger, beat 'em, beat 'em. Oh, Liz, hang up my coat. Run down that field like thunder. Show them that you're a wonder.
I've never seen him so happy.
I guess that counts for something.
Did Mr. Carroll tell you everything that happened this afternoon?
Absolutely everything.
Would you like to hear my version?
No, thank you, Liz.
Hi, dear. Dang, you're wonderful.
What's the matter, honey?
Nothing.
Oh, this is not the most exciting recounting of your adventure this afternoon.
Where is Pop?
He's upstairs. Virginia? Baby, what's the matter?
Everything.
But honey, I thought you just made a touchdown.
Oh, Mom, I'm miserable.
Virginia, what's wrong?
The last two things was play, the boys called timeout. They wanted me to play, so they told Eddie to walk off quietly, but they threw him off bodily. They knew the other team had to punt. The kicker went back into his end zone, but our line rushed through and he had to rush the kick. It was a bad punt, the ball was not even 20. And then we take it. They opened a hole at the center that a slow freight could have gone through. They were determined to score.
But Virginia, I thought scoring was the purpose of the game.
But Mom, they all treated me like something special. Just like anybody carrying the mail.
What about those three men who had you trapped?
When I got to them, I slowed up. By that time, I didn't want the touchdown. I wanted them to tackle me.
And they didn't?
They were laughing so hard they fell flat on their faces. I had to score.
Virginia, I thought that was the touchdown that won the game.
Mom.
Well, that's what I've been told here.
By the time I got in the game, we were winning 34-0.
Well, I've been had.
And they picked me up on their shoulders like a curio and marched me around the field. Both teams, with Dad leading them. I was furious. I kept on shouting, "Put me down! Put me down!"
Do I hear the small voice of my great conquering hero?
Yes, Pop.
You better stand aside, dear. He'll run.
Fight 'em, Ginger, fight 'em, fight 'em. Beat 'em, Ginger, beat 'em, beat 'em. Ah, there's the star. 5 feet, 4.5 inches of greased lightning! Welcome home, son!
Son! Howard!
Oops. Mayor Green, commissioners, ladies and gentlemen. Now. Mayor Green, Prince Principal Wilson. Commissioners, ladies and gentlemen.
Lizzie? Lizzie? Howard?
Yes, dear.
Where's Lizzie?
Up in the kitchen.
Would you holler at her for me, please?
Lizzie!
What do you want, Mr. Carroll?
What do you want, Agnes?
Ask her if Jeannie's petticoat is pressed, please.
Is Jeannie's petticoat pressed yet?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, yes, it is.
Oh, good. Would you please bring it up, Howard?
Why can't she bring it up?
She's busy, dear.
Well, why can't you come down and get it?
Howard, I'm trying to get dressed and do my nails.
Agnes, I'm trying to write this speech.
Well, this is more important.
Will you bring my dress too, Daddy?
Why can't you come down and get your own dress?
Howard, you're wasting time.
I'll come halfway.
I'm wasting time. I'm wasting time. Why can't they have their petticoats and dresses in the same place? Oh, God. What is this? Doesn't look like a petticoat. It's more like a lion trap. Gotcha.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that's a real smooth suit you got on.
Well, it ought to be. I've been wearing it for years.
Howard, would you get the front door, please?
I'll never understand why I'm always the first one dressed. Hello.
Mr. Carroll, President?
Yes. Oh, thank you. Hang on a second. Here you go.
Oh, a whole nickel. Thank you.
Who was it, Howard?
Nobody.
It must have been somebody.
That was a florist.
I knew it was somebody.
Six, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Howard,
Yes, dear.
what do you think?
Well, and well. You look sensational.
Thanks. It'll probably be the last dress I'll be able to afford to buy.
Hey, come here. Wow. You know, I think that you are far more beautiful than any of our daughters.
You do?
I certainly do. Do we have to go to that play tonight, huh?
Yes, we certainly do. Howard, I hate to invade your fantasy, but how much further away from the bank is this speech going to take you?
Don't worry, darling.
Well, the thing I don't understand is the bank's probably furious. You're just happy as a lark.
I'm just happy as a lark because I have a wife who loves me and the prettiest halfback ever to put on a pair of shoulder pads.
Howard, I think that pretty little halfback's a pretty unhappy little girl.
No. You exaggerate.
I exaggerate?
Uh-huh.
Howard, you called her son this afternoon. Don't you think that's just a slight exaggeration?
Look, I'm sure she understands that I was just a little bit excited this afternoon and that the word just slipped out.
Honey, don't you think it'd be wise if you went upstairs and explained that to her? I don't even think she's going to the play tonight.
Oh. All right. I'll do it. Don't worry, everything's going to be fun.
Well, my intuition says no.
Why is your intuition always so negative?
Maybe it had an unhappy childhood. Well, hello, Ed.
Hello, Ed.
Come in.
Is your husband at home?
Howard is here to drop the other shoe.
Hi, Ed. Come on in.
Hi, Howie.
Have a seat. I'll be with you in a minute.
You're very kind.
Thank you.
Well, Ag, how are you?
I don't know, but I hate to be called Ad.
Phyllis hates to be called Phil. Insists that the children call her Phyllis. I hate to be called Edward. Human nature's a funny thing.
How true.
Occupational therapy?
What's on your mind, Ed?
Oh, a great many things. I was sitting around thinking tonight and reminiscing on the scenes of my childhood. Were they harrowing? Remember them?
Oh, yes. Boy, do I ever.
I was talking to Phil. I said, Phil, Phyllis, I'm talking to you. Thank you. Remember that kid who flunked English 2 because he turned in a paper on economics or whatever it was? She said, I said, whatever happened to him? She said, oh, he married that handsome Posemacher girl. I said, oh, Howie Carroll.
Yeah, Howie Carroll.
I said, whatever happened to him? I said, you know what he did today? He made a great success of himself at the football game. She said, oh, is he back in school? I said, I guess so. Here are your contracts. The board meets on Tuesday. I don't know if it'll do any good, but go ahead and sign them and turn them in. We'll see what happens.
Oh, thank you, Ed.
Don't be so casual. I talked to some of the boys. If on Monday you're still running wild and Virginia's still playing football, you may not get approval.
Well, then there's no use in leaving these because we both will be.
Howie, you made a one-man show of yourself today.
How was that, Ed?
Well, first of all, he didn't sit in the stands with the crowd. He sat on the bench with the squad.
The coach asked me to.
When Virginia got into the game, he warmed up with her. He ran up and down the sidelines. He led cheers. He tried to do a backflip and lick flat on his raccoon coat. When Virginia got the ball, he ran the full 30 yards with her and waited for her in the end zone. Took her in his arms and kissed the left halfback.
What a game.
I turned to talk to Barney White, and he was rolling in the aisle. Later at the club, I talked to Barney, and he showed me a picture he's going to print on Monday of Howie tearing down the goalpost. Howie, you're becoming a character. More people will be coming to the games to see you than her.
You're just jealous, Ed.
Jealous?
Mm-hmm.
Jealous?
Mhm.
I'm jealous.
That's what I said.
Yes, I'm jealous. I'm jealous that little kids don't look at me in the street and go,
I'm sorry, Ed, but I'm afraid that I believe that every man is entitled to the sanctity of his own privacy.
privacy. There were 12,000 fans in that game today.
You know what I mean, Ed?
Is that why you volunteered to give a speech at the football dinner next week? What's so private about that?
I don't want to argue with you, Ed.
You know, I'm really beginning to worry about him.
In what way, Ed?
Any man who can construct an entire crusade on absolutely nothing is either crazy or so far ahead of his time that none of us understands him. Is everybody wrong except you?
Well, that very well could be, yes.
Well, talk it over with Ag. I'll come back later in the car and pick you up and we'll go to the play. It may help if we're seen together.
Okay.
You've been like a little mouse. I'll see you later, Ag.
Goodbye, Edward.
Boola boola, boola boola. Howie Carroll, you're a fool.
Howard,
Huh?
you know, dear, I've always admired your integrity. And I felt like how you feel on small, important issues.
Well, thank you. Is there anything about me that you don't like or admire?
Howard, I hate to put maternal instincts and security above your honor. But Ed's right.
No. No, dear.
Howard, I know you've been hurt, but you're being proud and wise. You heard what Ed said.
Ed Hoffman does not frighten me.
Well, he frightens me.
You saw how upset he was.
Yes, I did.
He's afraid of losing me. He's afraid he's going to be left holding the bag.
What's in it, Howard?
No, dear, no, no.
Darling, take some advice from a lifelong friend and sign the contracts, please.
You mean agree with Ed Hoffman?
Yes.
No. You're both wrong.
Howard,
Mm-hmm.
in this discussion, there are seeds that will blossom into a real quarrel.
Not tonight.
You'll find out. Howard,
Come on.
Look. Everybody.
Oh, gee.
Well, Your Highness?
You like it, Daddy?
Oh, do I like it? It's, it's majestic, isn't it, darling?
It's just beautiful.
I helped the dress, Mom.
It is.
I was with Lady in Waiting.
Your Majesty.
Thank you, Daddy.
Jeannie, you are beautiful.
You are handsome.
Thank you.
We thought you were this.
Liz? What's the matter? Are you nervous or something?
Oh, I think something's happened to my stomach.
Oh,
Did you call for me, Mr. Carroll?
Oh, my stars and garters.
We called you down to look at our little star list, but I'm not sure which one of you is the most attractive.
Well, I always dress for opening night.
Yes, we have so many in this town. Liz, here's the keys to the car. Don't bother bringing it back. We're going with Ed Hoffman tonight, okay?
Hey, I'll be glad to take it out the garage for you if you like this.
All right.
Are you ready?
Uh-huh.
Good luck now.
Oh, just a couple things to remember.
Okay.
Be sure to applaud the scenery when the curtain first goes up. Guy said that's very important. Only don't applaud me when I first come on stage, just because I'm the star of the play.
All right.
Well, Guy says that's amateurish. Even Helen Hayes says they didn't applaud her.
What did she do? Hold up her hand?
Oh no, if they applaud, she kills it.
She kills what?
Don't you know what that means?
No, dear, I don't.
Well, neither do I. But Guy does.
Is there anything else?
Yeah, there are some places where you're not supposed to laugh, but I don't have time to tell you right now.
So just sit perfectly still, dear.
But Mom, there are places where you are supposed to laugh.
But just watch the other people, okay?
Okay, Daddy.
Just be very real to me. You're beautiful.
Goodbye, Jeannie.
Bye.
And don't forget what I told you, huh? Don't loaf.
I won't.
Makes me feel like the Dowager Queen.
Virginia,
Yes, Pop?
come here. Are you mad at me?
No, Pop.
I'm sorry I called you sudden this afternoon.
Alright.
Something wrong?
No, not really.
Well, sure there is. Here, come here. Sit down. Tell me about it. What's wrong?
Well, I don't know. I feel kind of funny and unhappy.
I bet you I know what that is.
You do? What?
Mhm. Growing pains. Every kid's got them.
Did you have them?
Huh. When I was your age, I had them all the time. Still do.
When you were my age, didn't you ever have dates?
Only with your mother.
Did you ever take long walks and sit and just talk?
No, I wasn't much of a talker then.
Well, what did you do?
Oh, we just sat and... just sat mostly.
Well, did you ever go dancing?
No? Wait, no. Your mother asked me once to the junior prom.
I bet you were a wonderful dancer.
I was not. Your mother had to teach me a two-step, which we still do.
Was the prom fun?
I remember your mother led all night.
Was it romantic?
Nah, it was dull. But, that was the day that your mother and I got into my old jalopy, and we went up on... Nah, not very romantic.
I'd like to have dates and go dancing and take long walks and sit and just talk.
Is that what's bothering you?
Sorta.
You miss Tommy, don't you? Well, let me give you a little advice, sweetheart. Don't let this momentary loneliness stop you from doing what you ought to do. 2 to 1, this little separation is harder on him than it is on you.
You think so?
I know so.
Maybe I better go call him.
No. You just sit tight. You wait until he comes around to your way of thinking. And when he does, you make him accept you for what you are, not only as a girl, but as anything that you want to be.
But suppose he doesn't accept me as a football player.
I wouldn't worry about that. Tommy is half the man that you and I know he is. He'll come around to your way of thinking, and 2 of you will be much happier together.
Take your word for it, Pop.
Atta girl. Stick with me and you'll learn how to deal with men. Feel better?
Much.
Good.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Pop,
Huh?
can I ask you a favor?
Sure, what is it?
Well, would you take me to the play tonight? I don't want to get dressed up and have a date.
I would be honored.
What time will you call for me?
Oh, about 8:15.
I won't keep you waiting.
You better. That's the first rule of being a girl.
Well, if I am, will you be awful mad?
Sore as a boy.
It's going to be some day.
Don't worry. We'll make it up over a soda.
That's all I can say.
Oh, good to hear, Heather. What are you so excited about?
I got a date.
You have a date with whom?
A real dreamboat.
With whom does she have a date?
With me.
Oh. Well, Dreamboat, you're sure sailing high tonight, aren't you?
I sure are.
Howard, do you remember when I was a senior and I acted in the senior play?
Yeah. I rehearsed all the love scenes with you, huh?
Yeah, and most of them weren't in the play. I don't know which one of us is most excited, me or Jean.
Every man should be allowed his own dream.
What?
No, his own faith.
What are you talking about?
Faith he should be allowed to share with his fellow man.
Howard, please don't write out loud. It makes me nervous.
You know what, sweetheart? I think that this speech should be eloquent yet terse.
The terser the better. Actually, I think you probably ought to keep it under wraps.
You know, in these very precarious times, you are supporting me like a pillar of jello.
Hello. Yes, she is.
Mom, was that call for me?
No, dear, it's Eddie for Joan.
Oh. John, John.
No. Every man should have his own dream. And every dream should have a purpose.
That's pretty fancy, Howard.
But Thomas Jefferson said that.
I'll bet he wouldn't have if he'd known what it was going to be used for.
Hello. Uh-huh. Sure. Uh-huh. Okay, goodbye.
You know, that has got to be the least informative telephone conversation I have ever heard.
She does that all the time.
Oh,
Like my dress, Daddy?
it's beautiful. Say, where did you gain such a talent for telephone discretion, huh?
Well, I'm glad I have a talent for something. Mom, will you please cut this phone?
Sure, sweetheart. You poor sweetheart. You're the only completely irresponsible and carefree member of the clan tonight, aren't you?
Well, when Ginger gets as old as I am, she'll learn that you either compete with men or you go out with them.
I see, and what have you decided is the wisest course?
Eddie's picking me up in a minute.
No, collaboration.
One of the best there is. I'm gonna borrow some of your intoxication fingers.
Okay. You know, every once in a while I look at that little girl and realize just how big she's getting. Oh my gosh. No wonder they named him captain of the track team.
You must have fallen from the lawn. Hey.
Well, hello, come on in. It's someone for Virginia, dear.
Oh? Well, hello there, Tommy.
Hello, Mr. Carroll. Is Virginia at home?
Yes, she is. Tommy, I'll call her.
Just a second, Agnes. I'd like to have a few words with our Mr. Green here. Have a seat, Tommy. Here. What'd you come over to see my daughter about, huh?
Well,
Howard, it's getting awfully late.
That's okay. This won't take long.
Well,
Well, if you two will excuse me, I'll go to the kitchen for no reason.
Well, we've gotten to well twice now.
Mr. Carroll, I came here tonight to ask Virginia for the play.
Aha. And in doing so, you hope to get back into her good graces.
Why, of course.
How?
I have my whole speech planned. This is not the time to
Tommy,
promote
tell me,
the
I
play.
don't want to hear the whole speech, okay?
Well, the main theme was reason and logic.
Ah. Tommy, let me give you a little advice out of the richness of my own personal experience. In dealing with women, men must shun reason and logic. For it has been shown over the years that the male of the species has never been able to turn those two weapons to his own advantage. They are the heritage of that sex made of gentle steel who oppose us. Thus, every man must forge a weapon of his own in the eternal fires of this struggle. And when doing so, when he goes to battle, he must hope and he must pray that he will not be reasonably or logically slain any less or any more than 60% of the time. A simple man can ask no more.
Well, what's the weapon that you use, sir? Mr. Carroll, you were...
Confusion. Tommy, in my 20 years of married life, I have confused more issues than a liberal, and have emerged the victor over reason and logic and my wife, no less than 40% of the time, I think.
Well, congratulations, I think.
Tommy, as you grow older and your duplicity increases, so will your appreciation for the dust of wisdom that I have sprinkled upon you this evening.
So you mean to tell me I should try and confuse Ginger?
No, Tommy, no, I don't think you should try that.
Well, if I can't use reason and logic, and I can't confuse her, well, what's left?
Action! Dedication! Tommy, come here. A woman at 14 is impressed with knights in shining armor. At 18, she smiles indulgently, and when they reach my wife's age, they laugh out loud. Tommy, you've got to show Virginia that you're willing to fight for her.
I don't know, sir. I'm not much of a fighter.
Tommy, you can't ask her to that play tonight. You've got to tell her she's going with you.
She hit me.
Be strong, determined, but above all, no matter what she is or what she does, you must show her that she is always your girl.
Well, I'm sorry, sir, but I disagree with you.
You do?
Why, yes, our relationship's always been more mature than this. We've never had to resort to intrigue.
Well, you're the victim. Virginia!
Yes, Mom?
Would you mind coming down here for a minute, please? Tommy, I shall be right over here with pen and paper in hand so that I can take down any last words that you may have for posterity.
Did you call me, Pop? Hiya, Charlie.
Hello, Virginia.
What do you want?
Well, I came to see if you want to go to the play tonight.
You did?
Why, yes.
Well, no, thank you.
Why not?
Because you're just like every other man. You're not big enough in character to fit into the
Now,
real.
what do you mean by that?
If you recognize him as a football player, you feel you must discriminate against him as a
Now,
woman.
just a minute.
I've got 6 weeks to make up for it. It's not your fault. I'm not accepted as a girl.
My fault?
Yes, your fault. Because it's so petty and narrow-minded, you have taken me out these past 6 weeks. Said this is my girl.
She plays football.
Why not?
People laugh.
And you're afraid they're laughing at you. You're a coward, Tommy Green.
Now, that's not true.
You're passive instead of active, and I don't want to see you again.
Well, if that's the way you feel about it, neither do I.
Well, Tommy, how did you make out with reason and logic?
She never gave me a chance. She wanted me both the dominant and the dominated figure.
That's because you let her be.
Well, what can I do about it?
Tommy, I told you, sit down, son, sit down. The secret behind my success with women is that I never let them dominate me.
Oh, is that what it is?
Well, I feel so angry I could just go up here and drag it out bodily.
I'd sure like to see you try that.
Hi, Mrs. Carroll.
No, I think I'd better be going now.
Hiya, Eddie.
Hi, Mr. Carroll.
I'll get Joan. Excuse me?
Hey, did you hear about the touchdown we set at your daughter this afternoon?
Multiple versions, Eddie. Excuse me?
Greenie! Mr. Carroll, you sure were excited out there this afternoon. I thought you were gonna have a heart attack.
Thanks, Eddie.
So, Greenie, what are you doing here?
Why?
Well, I thought Ginger gave you the brush.
You did?
Well, sure, that's what I heard.
Well, she did.
Oh, I get it. She invited you over here to teach how to lead her cheers.
Oh, Ginger.
Or, maybe she invited you to the play, huh?
Now, what's that supposed to mean?
Well, all the guys on the squad are taking their best date. So, why shouldn't she take pretty little you?
Tommy! Eddie!
Howard!
What?
Why on earth didn't you stop those boys from fighting?
Well, Eddie wasn't fighting here.
I hate violence.
Well, I could sure see that.
But there are some places when a man must take an active stand.
Mm-hmm.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm just fine. You know, from now on, this girl can do whatever she wants. She was right, and we were all wrong. Is that clear?
Sure, are we?
Then all right.
Good night, Mother.
Good night, sweetheart.
Daddy.
Goodbye, Johnny.
You coming out, please?
Sure, dear.
Well, I guess I'd better be going. Good night, Miss Carroll.
Bye-bye,
Mr. Carroll.
Tommy.
Virginia, the real reason I came over here was to apologize for the way I've acted these past 6 weeks.
Tommy Green. Are you going to ask me to play?
I did ask you.
Well, don't you want to ask me again?
Want to go to the play tonight, Ginger?
I'm ready when you are, Tommy.
Well, let's go.
Tom,
Have a good time.
can I have a few words along with your girl here?
Well, I don't know. It's getting pretty late.
Come along, Tommy Green. I'd like to know what your intentions are.
I just had to tell you that I think you are one beautiful young girl.
Thanks, Pop. I'm sorry I had to break our date.
That's okay, I understand.
You know, you were right about Tommy.
What?
Yeah, you said he'd come back, and he did.
I said that because I always came back.
And you said he'd accept me for what I am.
He didn't have a choice. You know, you said that I've been right about some things tonight, but I've been wrong about a lot of things.
Like what?
Well, you and I, for instance,
What do you mean?
just a few minutes ago when you were arguing with Tommy here, you said, well, you're just like every other man. You were talking about me, weren't you?
No, Pop.
Oh, yes, you were. Oh, cool. I certainly made one unholy spectacle spectacle of myself out there today, didn't I?
Sort of.
But you know, it all had a reason. When I saw you get up, run out onto that field, I didn't care what anybody thought. I had a football player in the family. Let me tell you a secret, and this is just between us and your mother, please. When I was in high school, I wasn't a very good football player at all. As a matter of fact, I didn't get into any of the games.
You didn't?
No. So you see, tonight was not only your first game, it was my first game too. You know, when the coach said, "Carol, get out onto that field," I almost ran out there myself.
Pop, you sorry I'm not a boy.
I wouldn't trade you for any boy in the world.
May I tell you a secret now, Pop?
Sure.
Well, being a girl is so much fun. I decided to give up football.
Is that what you want most in the world, Miss Carol?
Yes, Daddy.
That is fine by me. Go on now, go. Have a good time.
Pop, may I always tell you my secrets?
I wish you would. But I know you won't.
Why not?
Because tonight I'm the man you love. But someday I'll just be your father.
Virginia, I can't take any more of this.
Every man should have a dream. Every dream should have a purpose. Thomas Jefferson. No wonder he died broke.
Good night, Mom.
Good night, Miss Carol.
Good night. Have fun, kids. Howard, Ed and Phyllis are waiting for us out front in the car.
Okay, just a minute there.
Are you ready?
In just a minute, yeah.
Howard, please quit writing that speech.
I am not writing that speech. I'm signing the contracts to the bank.
When did that happen?
Just now.
Why? How?
Agnes. Come here.
Honey, they're waiting for us out in the car.
I'm just going to ask you a question.
What's that, dear?
When did you buy that dress for Virginia?
When the season began, I thought she'd need it.
You did, huh?
I did, huh?
Well, she certainly is one little girl now, isn't she?
She certainly is. Howard, I've got a wonderful idea.
What?
I've been thinking of it for a long time now.
What?
Why don't we have a son, huh?
Do we have to go to that play tonight?
Howard Carroll,